Hi guys, my name is Yu. Nice to meet you.
Hello everyone, my name is Duyên. Nice to meet you.
Hello everyone, my name is Vic. Nice to meet you.
And okay, for the unit assignment 3, we will discuss about visual perception. I think in real life we catch many phenomena that are caused by visual perception. Take what happens in fashion as an example of that. There is an interesting trick with this kind of vignette. I tremendously like dressing in striped shirts. I have found that while a dress with horizontal stripes make the wearer look slimmer and taller, vertical stripes make them look bigger.
Well, but in my opinion, the horizontal stripes makes us bigger and vertical stripes makes us thinner.
Yeah, I used to assume that a t-shirt with horizontal stripe would make me look fatter and a vertical one could help me to reduce my deficiency. However, recently I have found in an article it says the opposite. Is it so confusing, right?
What is the reason for those looks?
Well, I think our brain works with an elaborate function to handle when our eyes look at things with stripes. But I also found that to apply in reality, this trick is just useful to people who begin with slim bodies. With a bigger wearer, the illusion is less useful. A second form I want to mention is illusion in art, specifically painting. You guys may easily see the 3D painting surrounding you. And that is one example of visual perception in art. When we look at the 3D pictures, we can feel like we are seeing the real entities.
Can you give some example in the real life?
Yes, of course. Suppose artists draw a deep hole in the middle of the road or puddle of water in 3D. In that case, pedestrian will encounter will inevitably move aside because they fear falling into the hole or the puddle. Well, I don't know if it's true or not, but in some places, people decorate the street surface with this painting method. They draw potholes on the streets to reduce vehicle speed. It's so difficult to just right, but I think it may be useful in some situations.
Visual deception is applied in various fields, such as in agriculture. Some forms of visual deception often have agriculture with characteristics set in 3D, 4D, which may device the reviewer who sees your imagine as real objects of space. They are often used to stimulate the model of architecture before construction, making the review can see the architecture image not accurate most accurately. Some 3D applications are put into architecture that is 3D printing into some simple architecture.
Is this visual deception popular in our country?
In Vietnam, 3D printing in construction is currently limited to creating architecture prototypes. This allows design team to evaluate the design and construction structure. They will then make create adjustments to find the most optimal solution in a jump of cost, time and resource for each construction project.
Yeah, I think in the future the demand for housing will increase, and at that time, 3D printing technology in construction is an effective solution to increase productivity. Currently, in many large countries, it is possible to build houses using 3D printing technology.
Secondly, in advertising advertisement of the service, reviewer by making the advertisement agent attractive and appealing to the reviewer. Some example, the advertisement for How instant noodle. When advertising, there seem and commenting things that look very attractive to buyers. But when buying, they are only noodle without cream or any accompanying this.
But I don't think so. I think some products still reflect the reality.
In some advertisements, although the images are similar to real food like hamburgers, to take picture, feel often arrange them that. The photos show on the ingredient, making cake look bigger and fuller, more colorful and attractive to attract buyers when they see advertisement.
Yeah, it's natural for advertising to be a bit exaggerated to attract customer because we sometimes say we eat with our eyes.
Yeah, sometimes our eyes deceive our mind. Visual deceptions or visual illusion are fascinating phenomena in psychology that reveal a lot about how our brains process visual information. This illusion can trick our perception, revealing the complex way our brains interpret sensory input. It comes in many forms, but I will talk about some common ones. The first is the rotating snake. This is a form of motion illusion. This type of illusion creates the impression of motion even though there is actually no motion at all.
Wow, I see it rotating.
Yeah, me too. It's so weird.
When you look at the picture, you will see the circles appear to be moving, but they are actually stationary. The illusion of motion occurs at the visual edge. When you look at the size of image, this illusion is more evident. Secondly, there is a Binghurst illusion. Looking at the picture, what do you see about the circles in the center?
I see that the orange circle on the right is bigger than that in the left.
And I think two circles in the same size.
Well, in fact, they are the same size. This is because the size and distance of the adjacent circles from the central circle trick the brain into thinking how big and wide the two orange circles are. Interesting, isn't it? Another form of visual deception occurs in the field of movies. The running away from the explosion scenes is always one of the expressive highlights of every action movie. Heroes like James Bond and Jason Bond are often seen as being able to easily survive deadly explosions. In real life, in a powerful enough explosion, it can blow away people, trees, cars, and everything else in its path. So, can you run away from explosion in real life for just a short distance? The answer is no. In addition, you can easily encounter many unrealistic movie scenes when watching science fiction movies. In fact, to make those scenes, filmmakers have to combine cinema efforts and technology like CGI, computer generated imagery. Therefore, it is not surprising when you see two characters flying through the air, holding guns pointed at each other, and behind them is a green background and cables hanging from the back of their pants when you watch behind the scenes.
Yeah, so the movie Avatar is a bright example of using the visual illustration trick, I think.
If a movie lacks action scenes, it will become boring thanks to visual effects. The movie becomes much more dramatic and vivid.
Well, you see, visual deception is used in many different fields. Sometimes these deceptions are not necessarily bad, but they make our lives more vivid and interesting. Okay, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for sharing. See you next time.
Thank you. See you
Thank you.
later.
Thank you for your sharing.